In this video, I will be sharing with you an unconventional and not talked about practical shadow work technique that will not only manifest things into your reality and change circumstances really fast, but will allow you to integrate and become whole within yourself. Warning, I mentioned some heavier topics that may trigger you and aren't kid-friendly. Hello, I'm Morg AI. And I'm a femme spiritual philosophy nerd who enjoys all things around healing, self-love, and understanding consciousness. I practice a lot of meditation, health and fitness, and spend a lot of time studying my own psychology and understanding human behavior. As seen on the thumbnail, this video isn't going to be a lighthearted spiritual love and surrender technique. This is how you get what you want by getting off on what you don't. That's a quote by Caroline Elliott, whose book Existential Kink changed my outlook on shadow work and manifestation, and will be used throughout the video for key insights and information. Part 1. The Shadow Self. Manifesting and the law of attraction are taught to us to be the key solution to ridding all of our problems that we experience. So why is it that so many of us have a hard time bringing into existence our dream reality? I know you have seen the videos and affirming teachings of these spiritual gurus on YouTube. Most videos explain manifesting in a simplistic, beautiful way about letting go and allowing the desire to come to you by thinking positive and staying high vibe. It all sounds plausible and nice, but won't feel realistic and practical if each day you write that you make $3,000 a month 10 times on a piece of paper. Meanwhile, your bank account is decreasing rapidly and you're buying groceries using an EBT government card. Yes, these are both situations I have been facing, and speaking from personal experience, those ideas and affirmations don't resonate and sound quite, how do I put this, insane. It's hard for the ideas to even resonate and for me to even take them seriously. It wasn't until I realized that if what these videos said was true, and that if like attracts like, and wherever I'm at on the energy scale is what will be equivalent to what I bring into my life, then I must really, really like these problems. Maybe even love these problems. I love it so much that they continue to happen again and again. That's when a book came into my reality. As mentioned earlier, it's called Existential Kink. It wasn't until I read that book and got a good understanding of the unconscious shadow that I was able to start integrating my unconscious. This led to an instant shift of circumstances overnight and a recognition of how, even when I consciously wanted these nice experiences like success on social media and to not attract bare minimal effort men, my unconscious absolutely did not. The shadow, as Carl Jung described, is the unconscious part of our character or personality that doesn't match the ideal version of what we're trying to achieve. So yeah, that part of me absolutely loved how bad my life was. My shadow was running my life for a while, and I was just here feeling depressed and desperate because I couldn't change my situation. The minute I accepted that this part of me was also who I was when the changes finally began. So thank you, Carl Jung, for your great discovery. If you are on the same page and over reliving the same problems for years now, keep listening because what I'm about to share with you will change your outlook on everything as it did for me. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe and like this video to get this page moving. I would love to continue doing this work and have you part of it. Thank you. Part 2, the big picture. So to be perfectly clear, it's not that you can't manifest what you want, it's that you already are. If it's the experience you are having, then you want it, whether your ego likes to admit it or not. Whether it be drama or the worst heartbreak, your unconscious mind wants it to be this way, or it would be something else. You don't have to take this as truth yet, but notice if there's any emotional reactions in you when I pose this statement. How can you say I want to be broke? I already hear the egos in you guys. Let's for a minute get over ourselves and look at this from a big picture perspective so that we can be fully prepared to do the shadow work technique in a bit with no restrictions. When we drop morality, or in easier terms saying things are good or bad, you will see that our world is pretty dark and taboo. There have been some serious messed up situations we humans have encountered and created. And I'm talking all the evil in the world, the darkest things you can think of. Rape, torture, drugs, child abuse, poverty, murder, you name it. And if you haven't realized that in all these moments, here is the universe/God saying, okay, but let's experience it. God doesn't have an ego. God doesn't have a moral compass. She isn't judging anyone, no matter how twisted and not so twisted their desire may be, conscious or unconscious. So God loves it all and is one kicky motherfucker. The faster you can realize the truth in this, the quicker you could get to whatever shitty situation that you're facing. No matter how sadistic and completely wrong it may be, there is a part of you that secretly takes delight and satisfaction in them, and that's why they continue to appear again and again. Like I said, God is down for whatever, so unless you do the shifting of changing internally, then the circumstances can't just magically change just because you ask the universe oh so nicely. Once we can love and cherish our deep and spicy desires wholly, just as the universe does, and be turned on, which technically means deep approval of the situation instead of off, then surprise, surprise, the shadow will be made conscious. The energy behind the suppressing and denying will be unleashed, and in turn manifesting seamlessly and quickly new circumstances, at the same time healing ourselves while we do it. The conscious and the unconscious will finally meet, and we could become a whole human. If we aren't able to feel joy and pleasure in the same way we would for an amazing change in our lives, it will continue to occur and stick around. You must fully acknowledge your shadow's wants and needs and celebrate them with equal approval and gratitude. Your degree to be able to do this is how serious you take your life versus how much you can perceive your life as a wild, kinky game that the universe is playing through you and with itself. Part 3, the overview and technique. I will now give you an overview and a walkthrough on a simple shadow work technique that will allow you to integrate your unconscious parts of yourself. The basic technique is a meditation that will put your body in a relaxed state where you can freely bring up the situation. So right now, pick a situation that has been a reoccurring problem in your life. For example, you can't make more than enough money each month. You keep on attracting the same abusive partner that's the same personality as your parents. It can work for all situations, but I recommend choosing something that has been a recurring problem for you and that you're certain that you hate and you don't want it in your life. Please make sure that the situation you plan to do is already grieved and that you are currently not in a state of depression. While in a deep, conscious, meditative state, we will allow and give space for the feelings and sensations that are involved with the problem and situation to be as they are and in our body. Using different questions and a willingness to see how much you enjoy this situation, you will gain a different perception on how you grasp these feelings and how you usually think about the problem. One of the biggest barriers I have faced when doing shadow work is the guilt I would feel for getting off on the things that seem so horrible and have been causing me so much pain. This is my ego fighting to control me and the situation. It doesn't want these things to be integrated because it threatens its survival. A good question to ask in these moments is, am I willing to stop using this feeling of guilt as a sense of control? For the longest time, I didn't realize my guilt was a way of controlling things. This has made a huge difference in my day-to-day life because my little self tends to be on the more controlling side. Worth mentioning is this idea from Existential Kink that all things are happening in life are strokes. And since all sensations are existentially neutral, it's possible to get pleasure from all strokes that are happening in life. Truth plays a big role in shadow work. I'm talking about abstract truths, not intellectual ones like math. Truths like saying I love you for the first time will in turn make your cheeks hot and your heart beat. Or when you open up in therapy about something you held in for a long time, your body loosens and tension gets released. Your body has a reaction after being truthful, whether it be a tingle in your genitals or heat in your throat or gut. During this practice, the body is in a relaxed, meditative, peaceful state, which allows you to see clearly what the body's reaction is to the situation. For example, while doing this technique, I say to myself, I'm willing to see my wicked desire for being fired. And I might feel an electric jolt come up into my throat and my stomach drop. It's key to meet these situations, whatever they may be, with innocence and not judgment. Even with the change in circumstances and manifestations that are going to happen in your life, be sure to place your main importance on feeling your kinky enjoyment of the desire. If you don't do this and you're just trying to get rid of the situation, you're not doing the work. It's like faking an orgasm, except your mind will know it, unlike the guys you sleep with. With that being said, let's do the technique now so we can begin the process. Begin by setting a timer for 15 minutes. Feel free to light a candle to make the space a ritual. Lay on the ground or sit comfortably, wherever you please. Just make sure there are no distractions for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Take 5 to 10 deep breaths, the deepest you can do, following them as you go in and out. Send let-go signals to your mind or anywhere your body is tight/holding tension. You want to get in the most relaxed state as possible. Once you're fully relaxed and your mind is clear, gently say to yourself, I'm willing to completely stop pretending I don't love and desire blank, whatever you're dealing with. Allow yourself to bring up the situation that your ego does not agree with. If words like, I don't like this, or this is not for me come up, observe them, drop the projections, and get back to the situation and feel what is happening in your body. Notice the sensations that come up. This is an important key because the don't like situation is just a way to bring these emotions to the surface that come with it. Simply allow them to be there with you and notice how they are very similar to feelings of arousal and excitement. Fear and excitement are the same thing. The difference is how your brain reacts to it. Allow yourself to feel pleasure for these feelings. This is just another stroke of life. Keep opening yourself to the feelings and get in touch deeply with the part of you that is truly loving this situation. Repeat the words, having is evidence of wanting, if you feel restriction while doing this. You may laugh or cry, you may feel sensation in your genitals as well. Fully dive into the pleasure and allow for the old rejection to be transmuted into joy and gratitude for the allowance you gave yourself for having the situation be exactly as it is. After the timer goes off, thank yourself for being honest and open and move on with your day feeling lighter and happier. Wow guys, you have made your way to the beginning steps of uncovering your truest self. Being able to do this work is the key to a better future in your life, but also the world. It would be foolish of me not to mention that the history and the planet that we live on play a huge role in our situations. There's a massive collective shadow that has not been integrated for millennia, and the only solution to this is to integrate your own darkness and become a whole healed being so you can inspire others. Unfortunately, too many people are too afraid to look inside themselves. So this work takes a lot of courage, and I'm proud of you for going there. Repeat this technique every single day until you no longer have emotional distress around the situation and it really became a thing of pure acceptance, or better yet, let go and completely changed. Let me know what changes occur for you and keep a lookout for lots of synchronicities. Thanks for sticking around. You got this, you amazing soul. I'm so happy that our spirits have passed. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you soon. Sorry, my accent just came out. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you got anything useful from this piece of content. Thanks for listening.